Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast but didn't know where to start? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor is your one-stop shop for podcasting. They have tools that you can edit, add music, all right from your phone or your computer. They'll even distribute your podcast so that it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple, and even on Google. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, everybody. This is morning coffee.
It's time to pour it, stir it up, and serve it up. This is the Morning Coffee Podcast Show, your unofficial wake-up call. Here to help you live your best life and revolutionize your relationships, faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day the right way with Morning Coffee. Here's your host, Tanisha R. Atkins.
Good morning. You're tuned in to the Morning Coffee Live Show. I am the host, Tanisha R. Atkins, back with another great episode for you this morning. I want to welcome all of you first-timers to my podcast this morning. If this is your first time, welcome over to Morning Coffee. Morning Coffee is your unofficial wake-up call on a mission to provoke you to change and spiritual growth so that you can live your best life and revolutionize your relationships. And that is an awesome goal to have. Like, you should, not just you, but we all should be striving to do better and better in our life, in the lives of our family, in our business. And in order to do that, we have to experience growth in our life. And so that's our aim here at Morning Coffee, is to feed you some sometimes real heavy food, spiritual food, something for you to chew on and, roll around your brain so that you can evaluate how you're behaving in life, like how you're thinking, what are your patterns and your habits, and where are these patterns and habits coming from. So that's the purpose of the Morning Coffee, and I'm so glad that you all are listening this morning. I want to thank all of my faithful listeners that tune in with me every single morning to check out Morning Coffee. I definitely appreciate you and don't take you lightly. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our episode. Now, we're in season 4, where, this season we're talking all about, we're all in this together. And whether it be your family, your team, your church organization, whatever you're a part of as a team, we want to help you to adapt the mindset that we are all in this together, because there is no I in team. And sometimes you're the person that you need to check. So I'd like to tell you that, just in case this is your first time. Anyway, so we just started a brand new series called Parental Advisory. Beware of the Parent Trap. Very, very interesting series. The goal with this series is to help parents to really identify where they are and in regards to parenting their children. And so we've been talking about the last couple of days how the Bible says that you have to train up a child. So that's what we talked about the last couple of days, and how you have to be actively involved in that training. Yes, the child will still grow because we're going to feed the child natural food, and children can eat. I have 3 nephews actually, and I guarantee you children can eat. And so quite naturally they're going to grow physically, but if we want them to grow intellectually and spiritually, we have to make sure that we are surrounding them with the right things, putting them in the right environment, around the right people, feeding their confidence. Even as children, we have to feed their confidence, because the world doesn't care how old you are when it comes to your confidence. The world doesn't care if you're 1 year old and just barely starting to walk. The world is very judgmental and critical, and as parents, it's our responsibility to make sure that we are teaching our children what the Word says about them, how God sees them. That's important. And so what we're going to talk about today is actually structure in the home. Because if you're going to raise successful children, you have to have some type of structure going on. You can't just have your kids running all over the place, looking any kind of way, doing unimportant things, all in these tablets and phones and games. You have to have some structure. Because you have to set the tone for your children and help them to set the tone for their lives. Like, when we get up in the morning, we're going to wash our face and brush our teeth. No child is born knowing I'm supposed to wash my face and brush my teeth. It's because you have taken the time to set that in place, either by them watching you or you telling them, hey, in the morning, this is what you do. And all that's a part of structure. And even though we know sometimes children get off, we as adults get off sometimes too, but at least the structure is there so that they can know where they're supposed to be. Now, if they, kind of veer over to the left a little bit like we as adults tend to do, then we know we have to get them back in line. Sometimes the Bible says you got to use their rod of correction, and some of us don't like to spank our children. That's a whole nother episode that we will get into at another time. But there should be structure in your home. There should be order in your home. What's allowed in your home? What's not allowed? What do we do in the morning? Do we wake up and just watch TV? Do we have chores to do? Do we make our beds? What is the structure? And you have to always remember that these small, tiny individuals, as cute as they are, have to grow up to be adults. And then one day they may have their own families, and their families may have families. And you have to think about this is a generational thing. That's just how serious it is. And you may say, really? Is it that serious? But it is. If we don't train them, then they're going to get the training from somewhere. So we need to take responsibility and say, listen, we need to have balance. But you know what the problem is? A lot of parents don't take time to do that because their lives are not balanced and their lives don't have structure. When you have children, it should propel you to want to better yourself. It should make you want to do things better because you have people that are depending on you. You have people that are looking up to you. It should matter. It should matter to you. So again, what is the tone for the home? What are we doing in the morning? Do we walk around in our pajamas all day, before we go to school? Is there spiritual things that we need to do and train our kids to do? Are we training them before they go to bed to get on their knees and pray? Some of us don't do that anymore. But one thing I love about my grandfather who's listening, good morning, Daddy Moo. Even when he comes to visit us here, he always still kneels down to pray because that was instilled in him. I can imagine as a child or somewhere growing up, he picked that up, that this is what I need to do before I go to bed. I need to get on my knees and pray and say whatever I need to say to God. But again, these things are not automatic. And that's what I'm telling you. We have to just stop getting up, getting our kids dressed, feeding them breakfast on the way out the door, pushing them off to school, into the hands of the school teachers and the other children and all of the other chaos and things that can go on in schools without teaching them this is where you should be. This is the target. The target is for you to go to school and to stay focused on your work. The target is not for you to go to school and bully people or go to school and misbehave in class. You have to structure them. And to do that, you have to structure yourself. And so, I just have to keep it real with y'all. Some of us are failing in that area because our kids are out here looking any kind of way. Hair looks any kind of way. It's just, and some of these hairstyles these teenagers and stuff are wearing, I just look around are we on the same planet? Or wow, and I understand there's different styles, but at least whatever style you have should be groomed. And sometimes it just makes me shame, to see children walking around like they just don't have no parents. And to me, I think, what, did your parent not see you when you walked out that door? Your hair is not groomed. Fine, if you're gonna have it, braided or long or whatever the style is, especially for young boys, then it should be groomed. And even some girls, walk around and hair is not combed. And here's the thing about that, and this is not a judgment, this is just reality. If you have little girls and you raise them to say, today I'm not going to comb your hair, or this week I'm not going to comb your hair. You're teaching them that self-care is an option. You're teaching them that they don't have to take care of themselves today, and it's okay to look a mess. And I know this is deep, y'all. This is deep, but it's time for us to take charge and really train up our children, because our children represent us and we represent God, and we need to instill these things in us. So I know you may say, well, geez, that's kind of deep. Yeah, that is deep. When your children walking around looking a mess, you're teaching them not to take care of themselves. Some of them don't even bathe and stuff. It's like we're so preoccupied with work and relationships, with fighting with our spouse. Are we checking on our children? Are you going up there to check behind them? Don't just send them upstairs. Go up there and see. Let me verify that you took a bath. Because some of these children be playing games. So I know this is a little deep for y'all this morning, but I just have to, give it to you like it is, because we got to grow up. We got to grow up so we can go up to the next level. So our children and our families can go up to the next level. It's not just going to happen. It's not just going to happen. What is going to happen naturally is that your children are going to continue to grow physically, but intellectually, mentally, all those other areas, they may be stagnant in some things. So we got to check on that stuff. So that's all I got for y'all this morning. Very different episode, but I want you to get it. Don't fall in that parent trap. Don't let your children fall by the wayside. Catch them. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And hey, step up to the plate. Well, that's it, guys, this morning. Now, tomorrow, my mom has agreed to be on the show with me. And so we're going to just talk about how she structured us as kids. I told you that she was a single mom before. But in order for her to do that, we had to be structured. Like, we just knew certain things, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow. So be sure that y'all catch us tomorrow. Be sure that you chime in with us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on the YouTube at Morning Coffee Live Show. And our Twitter handle is Start Your Day Off. And so that's what we help you do here to start your day off the right way. Well, until tomorrow, listen to this podcast over and over again until you really train your mind and reprogram your mind that you have to be actively involved in your children's life. Well, Tanisha R. Atkins here, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Every day I wake up with purpose, starting my day with faith and inspiration. Wouldn't have it no other way. Live, laugh, love. Let's make the world better. Give somebody a hug. Let's bring the world back together. With morning coffee, let's have morning coffee. Morning coffee. Start your day with faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day with faith,